Welcome to the Dave Kennon Show.
My name is Dave Kennon, and I'm asking one thing of all you Sarasota area residents. There is so much doom and gloom out there. Just one time a week, I'm gonna ask you to tune out the noise with all that is wrong with the world. Just one time a week. Let's look at the good, the uplifting, and the encouraging things happening all around us in the area and the world. We all need some good news. Fasten your seatbelts. It's time for the Dave Kennon Show.
Debunking stuff with data.
Violent crime. Something that has affected some of you directly. And at the very least, the news is filled with terrifying stories happening all around you. But let's look at the data. I don't want to give you my opinion. I am debunking stuff with data. So let's start by looking centuries back in history. The homicide rate in 1700 was 3 for every 10,000 people. In 1800, it had dropped to 2 for every 10,000 people. By 1900, it had dropped again to 1 person per 10,000. Then by the year 2000, not so long ago, it had dropped once again to 1 out of 20,000 people. That means 0.005% of the population experiences violent crime each year. Let's look at some more data. Doesn't it seem like crime is getting worse and worse? But using FBI numbers, the violent crime rate fell 51% between 1993 and 2018. 51%! If you use the Bureau of Justice statistics data, the rate fell 71% during that span. While of course we want these numbers to be zero, this is very encouraging data. We are not living in a time in history where violent crime is running rampant like never before. It is actually one of the safest times to ever be alive. There! We did it! We've debunked something with data! Now later in the show, we are going to talk about a technological advancement that is saving millions of lives.
Dave's Family Update.
So I have 4 young children, ages 7, 9, 12, and 13. 3 boys and a girl. The girl is the oldest. She's the mother hen. So each week, I give a brief update of what is going on at home. I mean, can a dad show off his kids? I mean, come on. Okay, so this week, my daughter is really into baking. She's 13, she loves baking. She's been baking me brownies nearly every night for weeks. How can you say no to your own daughter's hot from the oven brownies? I've gained 3 pounds in a month. I'm not even kidding.
Dave's amazing news of the week.
Let's talk about some amazing news. So I'm a financial advisor, and I find my clients have very common fears. Today's topic is inflation. So let's pop this concern once and for all. All right, so inflation. I have people come into my office and they say, Dave, I might be okay now. I can retire and I have enough money. But what happens 20 years from now? What happens when bread is $30 Gas is 35. I might be okay now, but inflation is going to ruin me. Okay, hold on. So there are two reasons why you shouldn't be worried about inflation. There are two reasons why inflation is not going to bankrupt you. First, Social Security increases lockstep with inflation. What does that mean? It means if inflation goes up, your Social Security check goes up at the exact rate of inflation. So in 1980, remember back then, you could get a CD for like 15%? Well, in 1980, everybody's Social Security check increased by 14.3%. What? That's amazing. And then in 1990, it increased by 5.4%. Why? Because that was the rate of inflation. After the big crash in 2008, we all remember that. In 2009, inflation was 0%, so you got no raise in your Social Security check. Now in 2020, this year, you got a 1.6% increase. So from 2000 to 2020, let's say some guy in 2000 started his Social Security, and let's just say this guy was starting with about $2,000 a month. So in the year 2000, he was getting $2,000 a month from Social Security. From 2000 to 2020, as he was getting these increases, he ended up in 2020 with $3,100 a month. He went from $2,000 a month to $3,100 a month. I mean, maybe you can stop worrying less and start living more. Now stick around. We're gonna learn how needless worrying can completely screw up your retirement. So I moved to Sarasota about 10 years ago. My wife is born and raised in Sarasota. So needless to say, I hit the jackpot when I met her in snowy Pittsburgh. I love the area, as many of you have for years and years. Now let's talk about 9 reasons why Sarasota is awesome. Let's start with the obvious. Sunny, blue skies almost every day of the year. You do realize that people travel from all over the world to visit here, right? Let's look at something else. Sarasota has this small town feel with all the amenities of a big city. While things can get a little busy during season, once the snowbirds go home, we get to enjoy all the cool stuff built for them. Restaurants, golf courses, cultural centers, shopping, all designed for tourists and seasonal visitors, enjoyed by all of us year-round. Sarasota, it has a unique vibe. It doesn't have this prefabricated feel of some beach towns around Florida. We have history, diversity, and culture that can't be found in Naples, Fort Myers, Cocoa Beach, Fort Lauderdale. Have I mentioned the beaches? Right? As I'm sure you know, Siesta Key is an award winner. Some people would say it's the best beach in the country. But let's not forget about Lido, Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island. I mean, come on, people. We basically live on a tropical island, right? What else is great about Sarasota? Well, there's no need to fly for vacation. You're only a couple hours drive from countless vacation opportunities. I mean, Disney, Busch Gardens, Key West, Boca Grande, Captiva Island. All places people come from all around the world to visit. We live here. All right, what else? Okay, what else can we do here? Traffic. Traffic isn't too bad. Now, I'm sure some of you are going to argue this point, right? I mean, really argue this point. And yeah, things get a little crazy in February and March. But have you spent any time in Orlando? Or Atlanta? Or Chicago? That is traffic. We complain if we need to wait for, one more traffic light. Okay, let's think of more. There's more going on in Sarasota that's awesome. A great airport. Have you flown out of the Sarasota International Airport? If you haven't, you are missing out. Short security lines, easy parking, all within a small and convenient facility. And let's not forget, we have top-notch hospitals here. Sarasota Memorial, Doctors Hospital, we have some of the best in the nation. People move here because the hospitals are so good. And we have the best cancer specialists and some world-renowned orthopedic surgeons. All right, this is my last thing that I think is awesome about Sarasota. There's some really cool people here. Now, not many of us are from Sarasota. Most of us came down here, right? Because, well, look at the rest of the list. Sarasota is filled with adventurous and friendly spirits who were willing to leave their birthplaces to make a new life here for themselves. I have Florida blood. I may have been born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I now have Florida blood, and I am here to stay.
Dave's Retirement Revolution.
So I recently released a book entitled The Retirement Revolution. Let me tell you, writing a book is not easy. It takes a lot of time. Anyway, over 18 years of professional practice, I've heard the same misconceptions over and over again. These things can wreak havoc on your retired years. Today, we are going to explore the fact that you can't hitch a U-Haul to the back of a hearse. Let's say that again, just so you can catch it. You can't hitch a U-Haul to the back of a hearse. Let's get real here for a second. When you die, you cannot take your possessions or money with you. I mean, right? You know this. But on the flip side of the coin, when you retire and no longer have earned income, it can be stressful. It's scary. Can I spend any money? I don't want to run out. I understand. I've sat down with thousands of baby boomers over the course of many years. I know many of your fears about retirement. What if I run out of money? What if I become a burden to my kids? What if I end up living in a van in the Walmart parking lot at the age of 95? These are all important questions. I understand the fear. I'd be willing to bet there's a small voice deep inside of you saying, I've worked hard and saved my hard-earned money all these years. It seems like I'm never going to actually enjoy it. I mean, it'd be nice to leave a little to my kids, but, isn't this my money? There are so many what ifs. I guess I had best hoard my money and live like I'm broke with money in the bank. If that sounds even a little bit like you, then hold on to your hats, because the government statistics on retiree finance are shocking. When I learned about these statistics, it blew my mind. Okay, the top 60% of Americans, the top 60%, are not spending near enough money to put themselves in danger of running out during their retired years. Hello, 60%. In 2 large national studies over the first 18 years of retirement, get ready for this, 1/3 of you increased your wealth. Let's think about this. You retire, you have money, 20 years later, you have more money. 1/3 of you are in this situation. If you don't start thinking about what the money is for, you could very well end up like 60% of the country who underlives. I see it all the time, and they oversave. What I'm saying is not especially radical. At its core, it contains a very reasonable and logical idea. Once you retire, you need to start spending some of your retirement savings immediately. Now, how much should you start spending? Now, we're going to cover that in future programs, but generally speaking, once you retire, it's okay to start spending the money that your money is making. Let me say that again. It's okay to spend the money that your money is making. If your CD is paying 1%, spend the 1%. If your portfolio of stocks and bonds is paying 5% in dividends and interest, spend the dividends and interest. Does that make sense? Does it make sense to at least spend the money that the money is making? I hope so. Why? Because whenever I sit down with retirees in their 80s and 90s, do you know what most of them say to me? Why did I wait so long to spend my savings? I have more than I ever had. Dave, why didn't I have this conversation with you 20 years ago? Regret, needless worry, oversaving, underliving. But this is not your destiny. You are going to take time to learn the facts. You're going to open yourself up to the idea that maybe there's a better way to handle retirement planning. You are going to find the perfect balance between spending and saving. You might end up living a much, much richer retirement than you realized. Each week we'll be exploring this theme. I wrote my book, The Retirement Revolution, to help you live your absolutely best retirement.
Dave's best dad jokes ever.
All right. It's everybody's favorite time of the show. It's time for dad jokes. All right. I have 4 kids, and I like messing with them with the worst possible jokes you could possibly hear. So here are my favorites. So I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. You can't put it down because of the anti-gravity. Okay. Are you ready? spring is here. I got so excited, I wet my plants. That's a good one too. I don't know, maybe that's not good. I don't know. All right, let's do another one. Okay, why couldn't the bike stand up by itself? It was too tired, right? A bike has two tires. It was too, okay. Here's one. This is one of my favorites. I used to have a job at a calendar factory, but I got fired because I took a couple of days off. These are so stupid. Okay, let's keep going here. What do you call a bear with no teeth? Come on, you know this. A gummy bear. That is so dumb. Okay. My kids roll their eyes every time I do these. Okay, here's another one. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food. No atmosphere. No atmosphere. There's no atmosphere on the moon. Okay. How does a penguin build its house? It glues it together. It glues it. It's a penguin. It glues it together. Boom. Access to clean water is one of the largest health risks in the world. This is disgusting. 80% of sewage in developing countries is emptied straight into the water source. The diseases it creates are terrible. Dysentery, cholera, typhoid fever. There's all kinds of awful stuff. But there's great news. Clean water technologies have made huge advances. It's incredible. Remember, this segment is called Good News About the Future. So a company called Innovative Water Technologies has developed water filtration systems that are self-contained, portable, solar and wind-powered systems that provide 20,000 liters of clean water a day for 10 years. I think about the amount of clean water that would create in these third world countries. There's something simpler. There's something called the Life Straw. It's a simple portable drinking straw that removes 99.9% of bacteria. A child in Africa can drink from a stagnant, polluted pond and not get sick. What great news! New technologies are being developed every year. Maybe in the not so distant future, sickness from dirty water will be completely eliminated. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Join us next week for more good news. I hope the Dave Kennon Show has been an escape from the doom and gloom in the world all around you. Be encouraged. The world can be an amazing place.